Welcome back to another edition of New Amsterdam Radio. It's your boy Flobo Boyce, but I'm in the booth with somebody who is a master of the grappling arts and sciences. What's up, Miss Foxxy Fierce? How's it going?
Hello, hello. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay, but not as good as you. 2024 on the comeback trail. How's that been going for you so far? Getting back to the swing of things.
It's been good. It's definitely been a process and a journey. Anytime you get injured, it's really tough, but I'm glad to be back. This past weekend, I was finally able to come out there and my sister helped me out as well. So that's just been really exciting.
Yeah,
Glad to be
absolutely.
back.
What got you like still in the game? I know when you get injured, you're kind of like, oh man, this is the end of old Foxy Fierce, but you got back into it. What did you say? You know what? I'm gonna go in extra hard next time out.
Yeah, I think one of the things is just loving wrestling in general. It's just a sport that I'm so happy to be a part of. I love WoW. So just that was one of the main factors, knowing that this is something I'm passionate about and, nothing's going to hold me back for long.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean, WoW is growing by leaps and bounds. I've been to a couple of tapings myself. Always a fun time. This is actually what the second or third iteration of the promotion, but this one has a lot of staying power. What has been the difference on your end in the locker room?
difference in the locker room on my end. I mean, I'd say there's just because this is an iteration, as you said, with staying power. I think there's just an energy and a buzzing about that's very palpable. I think everyone kind of feels it. And so even if you're in there with your opponents, I think everyone has this mutual understanding and respect for what's going on at WoW.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see it too. I mean, it's very a slick show, and I make sure I watch it when they release, but sometimes you want to have those Saturdays just to watch some wrestling when you're doing anything around the house. Put on WoW. It's always a good time. You're
Yeah.
actually one of my dad's favorite wrestlers on the roster, and one of the things he likes about you is your balance. So let's talk about that because that skating thing isn't fake. You actually do that. You actually are. I can't be on
Yeah.
wheels. I can't at all. But how did you come about doing that?
How did I get into it? I think when I was in college, I had some friends that were just really into it, but they were like, some people a few years ago would just go to the rink, rent skates, whatever. But there were a select few who had their own, and like
Yeah.
you go in there, they're spinning circles around you, and they got customized skates. So I think it started with me seeing them do it, and I was like, oh, this is a possibility. What? So
Yeah.
yeah, I got my own skates and I felt it was something I would be good at. And yeah, and I just kept plucking away at it. And here I am.
I mean, I know like growing up, there was always like the local rink. You would go out and the songs would be going, it was cookout vibes all the time. I got the wings, I was hanging onto the wall. I was on my feet, but people out there doing the synchronized dancing thing was pretty cool. I like that. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's always a good vibe.
Where's your favorite place to skate? Here in town or just when you're with family and friends? Like, do you have a particular rink you enjoy?
Yeah, it depends. I go to a lot of different rinks because I just like to try it out and see what the energy is like. But one of my favorite ones actually closed down now. It was called World on Wheels.
Hmm.
Another wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But that was always just such a fun time. So I miss it, but that was a good one.
Well, absolutely. I used to have a couple of friends. I was like, "Yeah, call coming out." I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that." Okay. Going back inside ringside action because I'm actually more familiar with that. Because really, it's scary as heck to be on wheels. So we were talking about how it is heating up intense wise on WoW. It looks like everyone is going to be champion. I know being a champion is always on someone's radar, and I'm not going to say you're anyone different. But what is left on that wrestling bucket list for you as you get back into the swing of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think just continuing to hone my craft for myself. I mean, wrestling, it really is, it's a sport where you continue to develop and evolve as you grow and, figure out uh, what's working for me and what do I want to add to my move set. So I think just that continuing to develop my own skills just for myself. And I mean, of course, like you're saying, the championship is always something that's in view and is always the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So, that's something I'm interested in as well. Um, but in addition to that, also since my sister Roxy is joining me now, that's another thing I'm excited about to be able, to be in the ring with, to be with my favorite person,
Yeah.
essentially.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, how are those training sessions? Is it kind of like is it like playful banter? Is it like a rivalry? Is it like a frenemy situation?
We're always going at it as siblings do, but of course, at the end of the day, it's all love. And yeah, we just have a fun time in there with each other. So,
Absolutely. Well, the art and science of wrestling is it's back now, right? It's bigger events, promotions are going wherever, these tentpole events, satellite events, all that jazz. And I know when you started wrestling, I'm not saying it wasn't popular at all, but you're seeing that growth there too. I mean, what's that
yeah.
feeling like for you? I mean, you're part of this new groundswell. You have new fans coming out to the shows. New people are hitting you up on Twitter asking for autographs. I mean, what's that been like?
I mean, it's very exciting. Like I love wrestling, have loved it since I was a kid. So to see it having this resurgence and getting the love that I feel it deserves is just so exciting. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of it. Because yeah, it really does feel like a movement and a swell right now. So yeah, I'm just happy to be able to witness it all.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movement, if someone is a Foxy Fierce fan, I'm sure there are millions of those. Well, how exactly is the best way to support you? Should they bring signs to shows? Should they hit you up on Twitter? Should they drop a mixtape? Like, how can people show they're a big fan of what you do?
Definitely the mixtape for me to skate to.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think coming to shows, of course. Yeah, bring your signs, whatever. Go roller skating. What else? And you can hit me up on Instagram, TikTok at Foxxy Fierce _wow if you want to just get in touch or to support me and see what I'm up to.
What's on your playlist right now? Old school jams, new stuff, kind of a mix, or
Oh, what have I been listening to? That's a good question. I mean, it's a mix of the old and the new. I really, really like Steve Lacy's stuff. So he's
oh
kind of
yeah.
a mainstay for me because I feel like it's a nice mixture of some of that like old school funk sound and like this new school stuff. So
Sure,
yeah.
absolutely. A little bit old, a little bit of new. A couple of quick questions here before you wrap this up. I know you can't be a wrestling machine, so what do you do on your days off, your downtime, if you believe in that? How do you refill the cup?
No, I definitely do believe in some rest. It's hard for me. It's something that I've had to grow into and learn to take time for because it can be easy to get into this pattern of going and going. But, in my downtime, of course, I like spending time with my friends and family. I like to do, more, I suppose, calming, less intense
Sure.
exercise. So I like to dip into my yoga background or just, as you know, roller skate and
Yeah.
bop out to the music. Yeah, I like to read. I like to paint. Yeah, I take that time to really focus on the other things that I'm passionate about and that make my heart sing.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned the yoga side because I wasn't sure to mention that. So everyone has a travel bucket list. The question I have for you is there a particular place on the planet that you would love to wrestle, skate, or perform yoga at? Is there different places? Will be one location? What is on the travel bucket list as of right now?
Okay, okay. I think wrestling in Japan would be cool. For roller skating, maybe. I know there's a pretty good skate community in Germany, so that might
Oh,
be
yes.
interesting. And then just like bucket list place to go. I've been wanting to visit Ghana for a while, but I kind of also want to go to Iceland or New Zealand. So I got a few different things. They're all swimming around.
Oh yeah, that Foxy Fierce horse is going to hit different. As we wrap this up, if someone is kind of coming across this interview, they're not really familiar with WoW, but they want to check in and check it out. What do you think that they should be expecting if they flip on the channel?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's the athleticism of it all. You're going to see these amazing, high flying athletic performances. But also, I think one of the biggest things about WoW is the way we tell all of these women's stories from their unique perspectives. And we have people from so many different backgrounds and walks of life. So I think fans tuning in or people that have never seen it before, you can expect to see somebody that you will identify with, somebody whose story rings true to your own experiences. So, yeah.
And off the record, how many bow ties did Dave McLean have? Is it like 200? Is it 500? I'm just kidding.
I haven't seen the election. I don't know.
I just figured someone has an answer for that. Foxxy Fierce, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that. Wow, Superheroes is available nationwide in syndication and online as well. I watch it on Sling TV. Check with your local listings. I appreciate your time.